The enemy is not the other who speaks a different language or worships a different God. The enemy, unfortunately, is that person with predatory behavior who has benefited the most from our country, but who, like the farmer in the story with which I started this intervention, only rewards Nigeria's love with eating her up in bits to the detriment of the majority. This tiny group, which is present in every region and religion, has maintained its hold by setting the majority against themselves. We need to rescue our country from their destructive grip. Therefore, recognizing that we may not always agree on the details of how to perfect our union, it becomes problematic the moment any argument is framed in a way that makes the incumbent think it is an attempt to distract him from governance or to get power through the back door. But history also shows that leaders who improve their society are not those who divide along the voting pattern in the elections that brought them to power, but those who can bring diverse citizens together to work for the common good. Pastor Koju, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I take my seat on a day such as this, my charge to all Nigerians is simple. We should see ourselves as allies in a struggle for a better country that is bigger than any and yet needs all of us working together. Thank you very much for listening.
At the platform when Mr. Adeni is invited, I look forward to the story. And today I was not disappointed in any way. I got a call yesterday from my mother-in-law, and she said, hello, Bolale. My name is Ngozi, but she calls me Bolale. Happy Independence Day. And I said, Grandma, do you call everybody and say Happy Independence Day? But she said, no. I called you because I know that you people in your church, the platform, yes, she's among those who think that the church is actually named the platform. She said, because you people actually care. So you're always saying things good about Nigeria, and on that day I look out to actually listen to those who come to speak, because you care. Then it made me, I dropped the phone, and it made me think about myself and if I really care. And as Mr. Adeni reeled out the names of people who are doing things, it occurred to me that beyond the appearance of caring, beyond wearing the green, beyond saying Happy Independence Day, which are all great, people are actually doing things. And we can all do things to show in our little ways that we care. Yeah. Our next speaker is a first-time speaker at the platform, so I feel like we should ring a bell or give a special applause. He is Segun Odegbami. Thank you very much. I feel like I don't need to have an introduction, but before we bring him up, we'll take a short break to cut back to our panel.
The platform is powered by Covenant Christian Center.
Just listened to an excellent presentation by Mr. Segun Adeni, and I'll just go to the panel to hear their views. Now, every time he comes to platform, he blows us away, and he puts us on a thought-provoking, like, what were your thoughts on that opinion?
You know, whenever Segun speaks, it's like he takes you on this journey with him, where you are just right in the inside of his words, like a river. You're just swimming inside. 3 things that struck me really quickly about what he said was about the challenge being about creating an equity of opportunity in Nigeria. Everyone's got to have a chance to be able to be better and to build something together as allies. 2 other things I thought were critical. One, where he said that the family stays together, that this is our story at the end of the day. The family stays together. You know you can't change that regardless of what it is, and everyone has a role to play in making change happen. I mean, everything else for me is around these 3 things, and the resolve that all of us need to understand that that's what matters at the end of the day. And the outcomes will take a while, but our resolve to do this is really critical.
Indeed, I noticed that you were drawn in until the end. You were just quiet. What do you have to say about that?
No, I mean, Segun was speaking my language. First, he took on the elites. He said, if we're angry about anything in Nigeria, it should be directed at the elites in every single space that are eating into the chunk of our country, similar to the story of the cow and the leg. And he said, we have them at the state level, the local government and the federal level, and they're the loudest critics, and they complain the most, so be angry at them. But channel your anger into positive change. Exactly. And he talks about change agents in our country and in our diaspora that are making us proud, who have put self behind and are serving others. And he challenged us to rise up and take impact and make impact in our sphere of influence. And then finally he said, we have to depend on each other to transform this country in solidarity. And that word solidarity stood with me, because it's going to take all of us putting our differences, our ethnicity, our religion, and whatever else that divides us behind, and putting Nigeria first.
Reminding me of the song Solidarity.
Exactly.
I think what struck me really was emphasizing that Nigeria is no one person's meal ticket, in the sense that there's more that unites us, you know, than divides us. And agreeing that, look, we do not have a perfect country. It's not a North versus South debate. But all of us must come together, as Ndidi said. It's a solidarity issue, and we must direct this anger, if you can call it that, you know, towards the right thing, towards transforming the nation.
Exactly. It was powerful. It was about unity. It was about oneness. It was about we are the people, and we have to make it work. And I like the quote where he said we have to create an environment with less suspicion.
Yes.
It's not this race against that race. It's not this religion against that religion. Wow. We are learning, we are listening. We are going back to the auditorium now to listen to the next speaker.
The platform is powered by Covenant Christian Center.
You're welcome back to the platform, Nigeria. We are live at the Covenant Place. The platform, of course, is powered by Covenant Christian Center. And our next speaker is no one else but Mr. Olusegun Odegbami. He's a retired Nigerian footballer who has had an illustrious footballing career in the 1970s and 80s. He was nicknamed Mathematical 7 for his precise skill and speed of play. He has had one of the greatest careers in football in Nigeria. Until date, he remains a relevant force within Nigeria through his many endeavors with the government, sports bodies, clubs, and corporate organizations. All of this adds to the reason he was awarded the National Honor Member of the Order of the Niger MON. He was made a sports ambassador in 1998, as well as an inductee into Nigeria's Sports Hall of Fame. He has a vast array of knowledge and experiences garnered not only as a football player, but also as a grassroots developer, journalist, publisher, author, businessman, researcher, marketer, athlete manager, administrator, and educationist. Today, he's speaking on a very interesting topic: with sports, we can change Nigeria. Please join me and give a first-time platform welcome to Mr. Odegbami.